Hello and welcome to next part of SAP RAP Unmanaged Scenario Series. So in today's session, what we will be going to do is we will try to implement uh, the action in our application. We'll first understand what the actions are, okay, and types of actions, and then understand how we can actually go and declare it. And then finally, we will be actually going and implementing an action for our status to change the status, to shuffle the status, right? From yes to no and no to yes. Now, what are actions? Actions are nothing but it is a non-standard modifying operation that is part of our business logic. That means this action will allow us to go and do the operation within the business logic and without going to the edit operation. Okay, this the standard use case is to modify certain fields of an entity instance without switching to the edit mode. We can provide an action to the list report or object page or both and execute it accordingly. Now, how the actions are triggered? The actions are triggered in three ways. One, when a service consumer, that is from the interface, the user selects the or clicks on the button, okay, and that button will then be calling our action, okay. Internally, for example, from another action and determination using modify with the execute statement in EML, and the third is from calling from the other RAPBO via EML. We will be looking into, as usual, on the Fiori uh, part of it, how we can actually go and create our own uh, action button, and then accordingly implement the action on our application. Now, how many types of actions are there? There are three types of actions. One is the internal action, and that is what we are going to implement today. This internal action is executable on the OData request as well as by EML from within the same BO or from the other BO. That means using the modify with execute, you can call this action as well from other BO. Internally, we can call by clicking of a button. Okay, and internal action can also be accessed from the business logic inside the business object implementation, such as from the determination or from another action as well. There are other types of actions also called the factory actions. Factory actions can be used to create any a copy of a business instance or the instance of an entity by uh, you know giving a default values to it. Okay, the coordinative it will always have one. It is used to copy an instance of an entity. Okay, factory action. And you can see we have factory action, one action name that will give me only one result back. Similarly, there is also a static factory action. And finally, we have the save, wherein save sequence will have, it can be called during the finalize and the adjust number as well. Okay. Now, we will try to look into an internal action today. But if you want to understand how these actions are there, please go and visit my manage scenario series, wherein for internal action, factory action, and static action, I have created three different videos which you can go and um, visit. Okay, that series. Okay, now Since we have gone through this, I don't want to get into all the theoretical part of it because we have already seen that in our manage scenario. I would like us to now go into the system and start implementing our action. Okay, so let me go to my Eclipse now, and then we will try to understand what we have to go and do as part of our development now. So let me go to my Eclipse. Okay. And what we have to do now is that we have to first go and select our behavior definition. And in my behavior definition, as usual, we have seen that, okay, we need to set an action with action keyword. Let me make it a bit bigger so that you can see action. I will say, okay, set status, and that will give me the result back as $self. Okay. Now, as soon as I implement this action, if you see, it will give me a warning, and that warning is set status is not yet implemented. Okay. And since we are actually going and defining this, so again, control 1, let me show you that as well. So you press control 1 here, a quick proposal will come in and you say add action. Okay. That will go and create an add action there, a set status method there. And if we go to our definition, you see set status is for modify. Importing will be keys with for an action set status, and result will be result. Okay, so we'll have to fill in the result. Okay, let me activate this quickly. And what it says, set status action is not implemented. That is fine. Control F3 here and F3 here as well. First, we'll have to activate this and then activate the class method. Okay. So now these both are activated. Once it is activated, let us first see what happens to our application. Let me go to our application now and let us see what happens there. Okay, so this is our application currently. And if I refresh this now, you see there is nothing here. Create and delete button we had. Now there is nothing yet. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to actually go and implement this button as well. Where we are going to implement this button? Let me again go to our Eclipse and show you where we have to implement. So the application, the metadata extension that we have created for contact, we will have to go and implement it somewhere. Okay. So let me put it here on the first name with comma. And how are we going to do it? That we have to actually go and add it as action. The type would be, so we have here type. Type will be not standard now. It should be for action. With that, we have two things. One is the label, and the label is change status. And the second is data action. And the data action should be exactly same as what we have defined in our behavior definition, guys. This is very important. Okay. Once we do this, right, control F3 here. Similarly, in our uh, behavior definition, now since we have actually created an action, we should use that action. So here we will say use action, and the action name would be set status. Control F3. Once we make these two changes, let us now go to our application and see what is happening there. So let me refresh our application. And once we refresh the application, you see now we have change status coming in. Okay. If I say go and if I select any of these status, right, then it will show me this change status where I can go and click. So if I click it, nothing is going to happen as of today because we have not written anything. So that is the reason it is not showing us anything. So let us now go and understand what how we can actually go and implement this. So now what I will do is let me just go and start coding our action now. And as you might have already seen, the action will be implemented in our class. Okay. Let me just go and set this status and go there. Okay. Now, first thing that I want to show you guys is that what we can do is first thing is we should understand what this status set status will have. So you can press F2 here, and as you can see, it is importing the keys, only the key values. Okay. And the key has CID ref, PID, contact ID. Okay. Contact ID is what we are interested in. And it has key TKY and PKY. In our case, we will be using transient key, the TKY, okay, to be filled in. And then once that is done, F2 will give me the four changing parameter mapped and failed and reported. So failed and reported is something that we will be uh, giving our errors back if there is any, and result is something that we should fill in so that the result is shown in the front end. Okay. So let us now get into this method and start writing our code. Okay. How we can write our code? Let me make this on the top. Okay. Now, first thing that we have to do is we have to use the EML statement to read the selected records. And how that is been done is by using the read statement. Now, the read statement is read entities of ZMAKS. Our behavior definition is contact you. Okay. In local mode, because we are using it in the local mode. Okay. Entity that we have to read is contact. Unmanaged contact is our entity. Okay. That we have to go and read the entities from, and from where we have to read. Okay, we have to read it from the keys because we have got the keys, and all fields, we need to read all fields with corresponding keys, and it will give me the result back. Result, I am storing it in an inline declaration variable called LT contact. So once I get my LT contact, the second step is to change the status. And to change the status, we have another EML operation, modify entities of, again, GMAKS I contact you in local mode. Now, while modifying, which entity we have to modify? Again, unmanaged contact entity. What is the field that you have to update? We will say update fields, and our field name is active. That is what we have to update. And with what value we have to update? With value. Now this value, we are now looping through our LT contact or LWA contact. In LT contact, we are looping through that, and what we are passing, we have to pass two things. First is our TKY, which is nothing but our LDA contact. And we have seen that we already have that key and TKY there, right? PKY, TKY, we already have seen. So we will just pass the TKY there. And the second one that we have to go and change the field value is nothing but the active, right? And the active value that we have to change will be equal to, again, if there is a condition, and that condition is when our LWA contact, the active value is equal to ABAP true, then make it ABAP false. And if it is vice versa, then make it ABAP true. So we are just shuffling the status there, okay? And this will actually go and will be filled in our entity, modify entity. Now with modify entity, right, we are just filling in the value. But how to pass it to the front end? Again, we have seen that we have that result value, right? That result is something that we need to pass, and that result will nothing be but the values that we have to actually go and fill in, right? Now, how we are going to fill in is, let me show you that as well. So result will be equal to value, and again, loop at our IT contact, same here, right? And what value we have to pass here? Two things, guys, when we actually go and fill in. One is, as usual, our TKY is equal to LWA contact slash percentage TKY. And the second value is the param. And param will have all our values there. Okay. And that is nothing but corresponding values from LWA contact. Okay. That is what we will have to actually pass to our LWA param. That is what uh, will actually pass the data back to the front end. Okay. Let me make it here. And now with this change, let us go and see if that helps us. Let me now go to our browser. Okay. And let us see how that is working for us. Okay. And in our browser, you see, we have this checkbox now. Let me just go and select the one by one here. Okay, I'm selecting the second one and I'm saying, let me refresh this first because the code gets to be thing. Similarly, let me refresh this as well. Okay, and here I say go. This is my version 2, guys. Okay, I can select only one. And if I say change status, you see this has now become no. Okay. Similarly, if I again do it, it becomes yes again. This time I am saying, okay, change status. So we have no and yes. If I come here now and if I say go, we have no and yes. But this will allow me to select both the things twice, all the things that I need to change. And if I say change status, our status is no and yes. That will now be changed to yes and no. Okay. So that is the beauty of having an action with version 4, guys. Okay, you can have multiple things that you can actually go and uh, use your action on. Okay, with that, I would like to stop here. If you want to know more about the action, I would request you that you actually go and watch my earlier videos on managed scenario. Pretty much exactly the same thing can be implemented using unmanaged also, because your action uh, you can actually write the way you are writing in your managed scenario as well here. So I would request that if you want to actually go, you can go and implement the copy and the create contact also in this application if you want to, so that you can actually learn how that thing works here as well. Okay, with that, I would like to request you to please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon, share it with others, and also please do like at the beginning of the uh, video so that it can then be actually shown to other people as well. That's the uh, request for you guys. Okay, with that, thank you and happy learning.